Have a look at RDLR guard today. So we have opponent standing up. First, what is RDLR? RDLR is a position where I pull and his leg is straight in relation to my hamstring. If his leg was across, this would be a cross hamstring guard. This would be a reverse RDLR because we're kind of on the other side. Now, anytime I have guard, what I should start thinking about doing is off balancing my opponent so I can set up my attacks. If my opponent can just stand up and there's no pressure on him, this means I'm not doing a good job. I want to think about constantly moving him around to set up my attacks. If I try going for my wrestle ups and my inside position guards from here, my opponent's probably going to have defensive frames in place. It's going to be very hard for me to attack. So always off balance. So our first off balance we're going to look at is knocking him this way. So we're going to sit up, grab his knee, and place a hook inside. And this is very important. My grip is going to come and C-grip on top of his ankle. This allows me to push and pull. And now I'm going to extend with my leg and plant my foot on the mat. So as Raptor is staying up, I get such a strong extension, I can look and knock him down towards his butt. And now this is so easy for him to come up. All I have to do is come up, is switch my grip towards here, and now I have him in a position where I have his leg across his body. So as he tries heisting up, I just keep my knee turned down, and I can easily wrestle up from this position. Maybe you won't knock him over, but the fact is that he has to address this off balance, right? Maybe he starts backstepping, maybe he pushes my hook down. It makes it easier for me to switch in between other type of guard and spin around. But the whole idea is you can start initiating your offensive sequence by moving him around. But if you can ever move him around, he's in the driver's seat, and that's where he can look to like exhaust you over time with pressure. And that's how you're gonna get crushed and nothing good is gonna happen. So we're gonna pull into this RDLR position. My knee's next to his knee, we're playing here. I'm gonna sit up slightly and put my RDLR hook in nice and sticky like so. So think about having good tension. I'm pulling on his knee, and then my other leg is pushing the ankle like this. So it's opposite pressure. Right, really make sure you hook your thumb inside. Now from here, drive off your leg and extend. You can see how you can knock him down. I pick his leg up, shelve it towards your hip, and now we can win from this position. We can start leg locking. We have a lot of options. Yeah. Make sense? 3, 2, 1. Guards you need to go for. When you're a beginner, people just let you get good guards. But ideally, right, I think single leg X and getting double inside position is probably the best form of guard for your attacks. But the problem is, you can't just get there, right? You need to set it up by other attacks. If I come forward and try pulling into single leg X, my opponent can put me on my back and start passing. So I need to have like early stage guards before I can get into my late stage guards. And RDLR is one of those early stage guards that I use to transition to my better guards. So from here, we're gonna kip out toward the side. I wanna make sure my knee is next to his knee. So if he tries driving forward, I should have good frames in place. Now I hook my thumb. A lot of people weren't hooking the thumb inside. And this makes a big difference because it allows me to push and pull and it creates a lot of tension. Now my hook comes inside. Some people are asking if they like pushing. This is okay, but I think planting your foot on the mat gives you the best ability to drive because now I can lift my hips, activate my butt, and off balance him towards his butt, and now I can look to set up all my attacks. That makes sense? Yeah, 3, 2, 1. Concept is switching in between different types of guard. So being able to play one guard is great, but if you only have one guard in your game, it eventually can get shut down by good guard passers. So if you watch high-level guard players like Diego Pato, Gianni Gruppo, they're very good at switching from these positions and playing from inside hip and outside hip. And it's very discombobulating for your opponent because once we switch hips, right, it's now a lot different and the goals are different. When I had a match against Gianni, he was very good at switching back and forth and like tripod sweeping me. He managed to sweep me once or twice. So we're gonna talk about how do we switch from reverse RDLR to reverse RDLR and then do the similar type of off balances. So from here, I grab his knee, I extend. As he backsteps and I feel like I'm having no success, I'm gonna pressure off my knee, look to switch my grips. And now we land in a position like so, called a reverse RDLR. So this is a very similar thing, but it's a cross hamstring guard. So I'm grabbing his ankle, I'm playing here. And now, same thing from before, I wanna think about off balancing from this position too. So once again, if I try extending, wrestling up, or doing anything while he's in good base, it's gonna be extremely hard. So when you're in guard, how can you off balance? How can you create a broken posture? So we do that via knee levers. So I can lift my hips up in the air and pressure my knee down, look to knock him down towards his hip. So I went inside, back to outside, kind of back to inside. So I actually switched 3 times there. And now it's a battle for top position. Think about swimming your leg towards the inside, and now look where we end up. We end up in the same position from before, we can just stand up. So I know I talked a lot, but what I really want you to think about is switching sides. If you're playing RDLR and that side's not working, switch onto the inside hip. If you're playing inside hip guard and that guard isn't working, switch on the outside hip, and eventually you'll get a breakthrough because you'll be chaining attacks together. Yep, once again. So we start going here, it's not working. So we pressure and we switch ankles. If he's more upright, we take our hips off the mat and do this knee extension motion and knock him down. Now you want top position. So swim your ankle underneath, shelf the leg, and then stand up. So the move itself is relatively basic, but the concept is like more advanced. We can actually do the same thing. I can knee lever, and let's say he's backstepping. I can go back towards Delahiva. Maybe it doesn't work again. Come back up. I can go back to reverse Delahiva. Now I lift my hips up, and I lever him down towards the mat. Make sense, guys? Yeah? 3, 2, 1. It's very awkward because he's pressuring forward. So now I want to think about off balancing overhead and getting his hands towards the mat. Once I get his hands towards the mat, I can think about wrestling up or inverting. So from here, you can either plant your foot on the mat or you can use your leg to extend as well. But the main thing from here is about extending and guiding his hands upwards. If you're having trouble guiding his hands because he's kind of sitting in the pocket, this is more advanced. We can also think about knee levers. Do you mind if you come over this way, Kai, so we can see the angle? So if you feel like you're stuck in this position and you can't off balance him, this is more advanced. Grab his heel, take your hook out, and do a knee lever. And if he falls over, great. But now as he comes back in, you can get his hands towards the mat. Now once we're here, we have a bunch of options, right? We can wrestle up behind him, or because we're looking at guard, we're gonna look at inverting. So from here, pull your knees to your chest and pull your elbows in. Think about concaving your body. Now just pump your knee and aim to spin your knee behind his knee. We get towards a position like this, and now we're behind our opponent. We have a bunch of attacks. We can look to sit up and take his back, like so, in bowler fashions, like Levi did against Joseph Chen, or we can enter the legs. So now we're in this position where he's pressuring in. Ideally, get his hands towards the mat. Once his hands are towards the mat, this is where all your attacks start. If you can never get his hands towards the mat, it's gonna be very awkward for you to attack him. So we grab the heel, we knee lever, take our knee inside, and now we extend and get him towards here. If you're having trouble, you can just wrestle up. But since we're looking at guard today, we're gonna pull ourselves in. If you have a wide elbow, it's gonna be difficult. Tuck your elbows in, pump your knee around your shoulder, and get your knee behind the hamstring like so. And now we can think about attacking. We have a bunch of options. We can pummel, we can leg lock, right? We have a bunch of attacks because we're behind our opponent. Yeah? 3, 2, 1.